Hi guys, how you doing today? Name's Chef Kyle Maris from the Empresario Restaurant in Goliad, Texas. We're here in the private party room, the Reserve, and after a long hard day working on the line, some days I like to come back in this beautiful room, crack a cold one, and make some pie. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pour ourselves a cold one. And this right here is the Goliad Brewery Sweet Potato Pecan Scotch Ale. Kind of rolls right off the front of the tongue, nice and sweet. You get that sweet potato body and a really beautiful pecan kind of smoky end. I love this beer. So today, what we're gonna cook ourselves up is a sweet potato pecan Scotch Ale pie. So let's get started. For the crust, we're gonna do a cup and a half of flour, half a cup of butter, cold and chopped, 1 teaspoon of salt, and a tablespoon of sugar. And this we're gonna get all cut up right into the flour. So we do this by making a pressing motion, pressing out all the butter into the flour. This causes the flakiness and tenderness you see in our pies here at the restaurant. All right, you know it's all pressed in once you've got bite-sized pieces, roughly, the size of an oat. We can go a little bigger with this one because we're aiming for more flakes, and this will be a slightly more wet batter. It needs to be a more wet dough because of the beer. Alcohol actually evaporates at a much lower temperature than water does. And now here's my favorite part. Beer in the crust. So for the pie crust, we're gonna go with about 4 ounces worth of beer. And for the filling itself, the rest of the bottle poured right over a peeled baked potato. Give this a nice stir. All right, once it's together, it'll be nice and sticky. Not too much though. We still want to have it easy to roll out. So we're gonna place it like this. We're gonna cover it and let it rest for 10 minutes. Now I do happen to have one that's already been rested. And this is our crust after the rest. Get a little flour over the top and we'll roll it out. Now, because it's cold, it'll be a little bit tougher to roll. However, it's well worth it. We keep those big chunks of butter in there, so it's a much flakier crust. All right, if it's starting to stick to your pin, so nice little dusting of flour right on top. And you notice I'm rotating about 25 to 40 degrees, roughly every 4 or 5 rolls. This makes it so I'm getting every little bit of the dough nice and consistent. All right, once you've got it roughly an inch or 2 wider than the size of your pie pin, you're gonna roll it right up, and this goes right over the pie pan. And now we'll go right to the filling. So to start the filling, we're gonna take 3 egg yolks, lightly beaten, right down, half a cup of sugar, and 1 cup of cream. We beat all this together. This is a very simple version of a royal custard. All right, once it's all nice and mixed up, I'm gonna take a sieve and we'll take this beautiful mashed potato. Now what we're shooting for here is just under a yam size. And we soak it with beer because that sweet potato just soaks up the beer and keeps it from evaporating right away while it's baking. All right, once it's a little bit mashed, we're gonna pour that right into our sieve. Now additionally, because this beer is very light on the flavoring, that extra bit of sweet potato kind of helps give it a boost. So we press it through the sieve. Now because we've soaked it in the beer, it'll be a lot easier. The reason we do this is sweet potato has a lot of fibers, and it doesn't do any good to leave those fibers in the pie. You don't want any stringy bits while you're eating your sweet potato pecan pie. So it's all right to get a little messy and press it through the sieve. And then 1 cup of pecans goes right down the center. Mix it up, and you're gonna pour this directly into your pie crust. It goes in the oven at 350 degrees for roughly 40 minutes or until you can pass a pick clean through the center. After that, you take it out and let it rest for about 20 minutes. I do happen to have one already baked off for us. It's nice and beautifully custardy. Perfect little pecans resting all the way throughout because that custard is nice and thick. So, it's not quite done yet. We're not quite there. We need one thing for a custard pie. Always have to have whipped cream. Always. So, about 1/2 cup of cream. And this is a beer syrup made with the sweet potato pecan Scotch Ale. It's 4 ounces of beer to 2 ounces of sugar. All you have to do is bring it to a light boil and then let it go till it gets thick. Now we're gonna give this a quick whip. You'll notice that it immediately turns the cream to a darker color, and we make a back and forth motion with the whisk. This fluffs up that cream. You can also do this in a mixer, or if you have kids have lots of energy. So once it starts to get thick, you just keep beating it. However, again, I do have a little bit already prepared, and your end product should look like this. Now we take a spoon, and we're gonna dollop a little bit, but before we do that, something this is missing. You need a little salt. So I have right here what we call Empresario bacon. The Empresario makes our own bacon. It is smoked and cured in-house by hand, by myself, every week. We sell it by the pound if you want to come pick some up to make this pie. Or if you want to go out to the grocery store, you can buy some extra thick cut bacon from your butcher there. Now we're gonna take this, we're gonna sprinkle a little bit of brown sugar right over the top. And again, you can do this at home by sprinkling a little bit of brown sugar on a pan. However, because I am a chef and I get all the cool tools, I've got a torch. And let's do some candied bacon. There's nothing better than a beautiful piece of smoked bacon with some freshly caramelized sugar right over the top of it. All right, careful, because this will be hot. We're gonna take it, we're gonna just do some shredded pieces right over the top. I recommend you wait until this is done, or until this is nice and cooled off. However, I just want to jump into my pie. All right, some nice big chunks right over the top of that pie. Ooh, that's good. And a big old dollop of whipped cream. Let me tell you, that is the way to end the day. Thank y'all very much.